Today you'll be learning about multiplying single-digit whole numbers with decimals, and we'll be using a place value chart and also the area model. So let's first look at 3 times 2/10. We know that 2 is in the tenths place. And so all we're doing is multiplying 2 by 3, and we get our answer as 6/10. The 6 stays in the tenths place. We're going to look at 2 more problems, 3 times 3/10 and 3 times 4/10, and see how are these two problems different. The first one is 3 times 3/10. So again, we put our 3 in the tenths place. We multiply that 3 by 3 and we get 9. So our answer seems simple, 9/10. So how is that different from 3 times 4/10? We do the same thing. Our 4 goes in the tenths place in our place value chart. We multiply 4 by 3 and we get 12. So now we know that here we have a 10 and a 2 in the tenths place, and whenever we have groups of 10, they shift to the greater place value. 10 tenths is 1. So our new answer is 1 and 2/10. Here are a couple more problems. Instead of just using place value to the tenths place, we'll try to the hundredths place. Our first problem is 2 times 43/100. We use our place value chart and put our digits in the correct place. Each digit has to be multiplied by 2, just like any multiplication problem. So 3 times 2 is 6/100. 4 times 2 is 8/100. There's no change that has to be made, so our first problem is 86/100. So how will that be different from 4 times 43/100? We do the same thing. We use our place value chart. This time we're multiplying each digit by 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 3 times 4 is 12. So now we have 16/10 and 12/100. For every group of 10 we have, it has to shift over. So 10/10 is equal to 1. We cross that out. 10/100 is equal to a tenth, 1/10. So we have now 6/10 plus 1/10 is 7/10. We have 2/100 and we have 1. So our final answer, pulling it off our place value chart, is 1 and 72/100. What we know is the area model looks pretty similar to our place value chart. We draw our rectangle like an area and we place our numbers. Our 6 is on one side, our 1 and 21/100 will be on top, and again each digit has to be multiplied by our 6. So 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12, and it's in the tenths place. 6 times 1, again, in the hundredths place is 6/100. So we have 6 in the ones, 12 tenths, 6/100. We have to make an adjustment here. 10/10 is 1. So now we have 7 ones. We still have 2/10 and 6/100. So 6 times 1 and 21/100, our answer is 7 and 26/100. Using a strategy that makes sense to you, either the area model or a place value chart, whatever looks best for you, try the next 3 problems, pause the video, and move forward when you are done. So in our first example, we have 7 times 2 and 41/100ths. I set it up as the area model, which also looks like a place value chart. In the ones place, I have 7 times 2 is 14. In the tenths place, I have 7 times 4 is 28. And in the hundredths place, I have 7 times 1 is 7. So we have our multiplication done. Now we have to make our adjustment for our numbers, and I'll use a different color. Our 14, we know the 1 really moves to the tens place, but we can keep that there. We have 20 tenths plus 8 tenths, so our 20 tenths become 2 ones, and the hundredths look good. So we add our ones, and we have 16. We have 8 tenths, and we have 7 hundredths. So our answer becomes 16 and 87 hundredths. And the next one, we have 8 times 2 and 34 hundredths. So again, keep everything in its place. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24 tenths. And 8 times 4 is 32 hundredths. Our multiplication is done, and now we just need to make our adjustments. We have too many tenths. Every group of 10 moves over 1 place. So we now have 2 extra ones and 4 tenths left. In the hundredths place, we have 30 hundredths, which becomes 3 tenths. Get rid of that, and we have 2 left. Got rid of that. So our final answer is 16 plus 2 is 18. We have 7. 4 plus 3 is 7 tenths. And 2 hundredths. So our answer is 18 and 72 hundredths. And our last one is 6 times 4 and 25 hundredths. Keeping everything in its place, 6 times 4 is 24 ones, or 2 tens and 4 ones. 6 times 2 is 12 tenths. 6 times 5 is 30 hundredths. Our multiplication is done. Now we're changing, making our adjustments. I have a group of 10 here that moves over to the ones place. So that gives me 25 ones. I have 3 groups of 10 here that move over to the tenths place. So that gives us 5 tenths. Now I don't have any more hundredths, so my final answer is 25 and 5 tenths. Or you can say 50 hundredths, but it's not necessary. And that's our final answer. Hopefully this video gave you a good understanding of multiplying whole numbers with decimals.